Good evening, everybody. I see the party's already started in the room. Thanks for joining us. Happy New Year, everyone. Everybody's got their bubbly ready, or I have water and tea ready. I figured we didn't want to have drunken tarot.
That would be bad, especially live.
Do we all have our potty hats? Party hats on? Potty hats if you're going to be flushing 15 times. So while we're waiting for anybody else joining us, I thought just to, as a reminder for those who don't know, Auld Lang Syne means time's gone by. So when you're singing Auld Lang Syne, you're singing the time's gone by. So anyone who wants to sing at midnight, feel free. I won't because I have a frog voice. You don't want to hear me sing. I should have learned how to play it on the guitar. So let's see how we're doing in YouTube. Oh, we got 192 with us tonight. Not bad for a party night. So we're definitely making it to East Coast New Year's. We might make it to Central Time New Year's. We'll see how it goes. Sorry about the West Coasters. We probably won't make it to that.
Was it 3 hours away?
2 hours behind us, yeah. Yeah, midnight for us is 10 p.m. for them. So 2 a.m. for us would be midnight for them. And to anybody from overseas, Happy New Year already. You're already in 2020.
Mm-hmm. They went to the back of the book, got the answer. That's all that.
Yeah.
9:30 in Arizona. I'm glad y'all like it. I hate this thing. It itches me. It's the worst. I just don't feel like cutting it. Coffee.
So interesting. I was just reading about the numerology of number 4, which for me is an angel number, big angel number, but it's also about conscientiousness and responsibility. Here's to hoping someone takes responsibility in 2020, right? 2020 would reduce to the number 4.
Wow, that number jumped up quick. It's 278 now.
Wow.
Happy New Year.
So I have my TV on so I can watch the countdown. When we get closer, we'll stop and do the 10-second countdown with you guys. We have some political readings. We might do some angel readings. We might try to get some guidance for 2020. We're just going to kind of be all over the place tonight. This was very impromptu. Johnie and I were talking on the phone last night and both talking about doing a live stream either New Year's Eve or New Year's Day. I was like, well, you want to do it together? Like we don't see each other enough on Sunday nights. So why don't we read on the Pence Barr thing that we didn't get to Sunday night that we forgot about? Because we were kind of looking at this off camera and it was kind of interesting while we're waiting for New Year's to get a little closer. we were talking about what does Pence think of Barr and what does Barr think of Pence. So let's start with what's Barr think of Pence.
I think I did 3 cards. I'll do more this time.
I was thinking I might do like 5 or 6.
Or, maybe I can pull 5 tarot and then we can do some oracle cards.
Yeah, because they pull oracles on this. Oh, you have fireworks where you're at. Lisa, it's very quiet here. We had snow today, or last night, I should say. So it's quiet and peaceful, but cold.
The pier is down the street from my house, and so they do fireworks at the pier. So it's been going off since 10 o'clock, mind you.
Hi, BB.
I'm in Central Standard Time, Dreamweaver.
We're both in Central Time. He's just down in Florida, and I'm up in outside of Chicago in the cold.
And the panhandle of Florida is what's at Central. The rest is in Eastern. We're doing Barr to Pence.
Barr to Pence. What do you think's of Pence? Well, kind of funny. I got the Queen of Wands on the bottom. He thinks he's a woman.
He might think he's the opposition.
Ooh, I'm kind of getting different cards than I got the other night. Maybe not. Kind of telling me the same things. It's funny. We're asking about what does Barr think of Pence, and of course Trump shows up. Yeah, he was on a tweet storm today about the do-nothing Democrats. Proud to be a do-nothing Democrat.
This is why you don't give a child a phone. Exactly why.
He's got his own Benghazi going on with the protesting and attack on the embassy in Iraq, and what's he doing? Golfing and tweeting.
Barr to Pence.
Yeah, I think that's Mother on the bottom of my deck. I think he thinks Mother rules the Pence family.
I do have strength, and that is woman to lion, so that is possible.
Yeah, I think that Queen of Wands is Mother. I'm getting that vibe off of it.
Because I get Queen of Pentacle and Knight of Wands at the top and the bottom. So there is a sort of a more stable female energy here to a Knight of Wands, someone with action, with some say-so, or someone who brings an action. In the middle is the 7 of Cups. So I don't think he really knows who he is, which is why that High Priestess came up the last time. Like a person of secret. I think he may have or may believe Pence has his own agenda. The 3 of Cups comes back with that 9 of Wands. I think he's behind the scenes, maybe working on something is kind of how he feels. There's no trust there. Hasmed is about annihilation, and then Hod is about submission. And then Remiel is about visions and looking forward into the future. So maybe like investigations, or maybe trying to ask some people in some little backdoor kind of way. To be fair is about, like, it's almost like the Justice card. This is trying to be balanced. Not for you is is literally something that's not for you. It's this is not your destiny. It's not your avenue to walk down and then a leg up. This is giving your power to somebody else, because you feel as though they're more capable. So I think he might believe that Mike Pence wants to be Donald Trump, or at the very least wants to be president, and he doesn't trust him.
Yeah, I think he doesn't trust him either. I've got, here's Trump and all his anxiety and tweeting a zillion times, but what I'm getting is that he's afraid because Pence knows something about some trips that he can shed illumination on, and he'd like to put an end to Pence.
Yeah.
Independence. Into Pence. He'd like to. It's like he'd like to stab him in the back, and it's not an easy transition. He to me, it looks like he thinks that Pence thinks he's going to ease into the position after Trump's gone too, but he doesn't. It doesn't feel like he trusts him. So, what's Pence think of Barr? Yeah. Got the fighting card on the bottom. That came up the other night when we were looking at this.
Because they're both very ChristianMingle.com. The Christians are fighting on the White House. Meanwhile, the devil's in charge. So that's why. That is why.
Ooh, we should look at Pence. What religion is he really? That's going to get a little weird, I bet.
Both him and because William Barr, he really wants that dominionization stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, Pence to Barr.
Pence think of Barr. Ooh, tower on the bottom. Crash and burn. Here's that anxiety card again.
Pence to Barr. Interesting. They get better cards here.
He doesn't trust him either. They don't trust each other. Shall I go since you're pulling oracle cards too?
Yeah, because I get something different.
Yeah, I'm getting, there's anxiety also involving stuff overseas. And he looks at Barr as the one who puts a different spin on everything. Like he tries to twist everything around. He looks at things differently and spins it that way. But there's also treachery with the moon card. He would like to see an end to Barr because Barr, here he is, the mask. He's the mask. He's not what you think he is. So Pence is aware he has a mask also.
So what is... Because my tarot seems to be saying something different than my oracle right now.
What's the tarot saying? Maybe it's because of the mask.
Yeah, let me do this again then. Well, it shows like no, it actually doesn't. Let me read them in tandem. And okay, so let's start in the middle. We have the Two of Pentacles, so the sort of the off balance. At the top is the Four of Wands, and then the Six of Wands is in the base. So probably the celebrated person, center of attention. I think from Pence to Barr, he may think that he is more in charge than, or maybe has been given more power by the White House. So there is a little sense of in Pence that there should be some checks and balance. Clarity and temperance. This one confused me because it seems like Pence might think that there is maybe a good aspect to William Barr. That's interesting. I say that, and this looks like a mask in the photo.
Yeah, it does.
Oh, sweet Mary. I think Pence may be fooled, so therefore he doesn't trust him. Because my oracle says drama queen with the never-ending story, the loyal heart, that's the supporter, and then a card called chaos and conflict, which is literally chaos and conflict.
Yep.
So
chaos and the drama queen spinning.
And there is Shakiel. This is the angel of the sky, or this is defending, defense, on guard, standing guard. Such laugh is about life, abundance, probably a lot of information, a lot of seeds being planted. And then Montreal is the card of the angel of rain. Interesting, you'd get the abundance in the green. Verdancy means green, greenery, and then the card of rain afterwards. So he is the one that keeps Donald Trump alive. He is the one that keeps the proof hidden, because Montreal is about proof. So when water falls on something, you can't deny that it rained. So there is proof here. So that he is good for one thing and then bad for another. I think he is good for Trump, but bad for image, because he lies and the the country can see that. So he thinks he should go too. Interesting. Well, if he goes, take the rest of them with you.
Let's look at the roots of Pence's religious beliefs.
I'm going to go full oracle on this.
Yeah, I think I'm going to change deck. Back to my regular deck. You pull that devil card out first and this game's over.
Pence's religion.
Thanks, Becca. Getting rid of the trolls for us.
They ain't got nothing else to do.
Trolls want to celebrate with us too.
Yeah. They just don't know how to say hi. I keep saying hi.
If they're nice, just thanks, Becca, Troll Patrol. If they're nice, let them stay and try and learn something.
Tell them just say hi. Trump. No.
Oh, Ian. Wait, is that the Ian from Scotland? Bonnie, Scotland? First troll shot down in 2020.
Pence's religion. Pence's religion.
Oh, wow. I got that world card on the bottom. That's a little bit of a dominion, isn't it? A little globalization of religion.
And I think that is his, because I get some sort of Christian influence here, but it's the unhealthy kind that thinks the entire world should be Christian.
Yeah, I get the bully pulpit with him, so yeah, he thinks it.
It's his religion.
I got that Queen of Wands again. Mother's showing up, crowning my reading. So I think his religion depends on the direction she sends him.
He's controlled. I need it different. Okay. Got to do the shadow cards too. Might as well. Ooh, mercy. It's very unhealthy. Okay, so the first one is Chocomo. This is a card of gaining knowledge. So this would be the steward, person who's learning. At the bottom is Keter. This is the card of spirituality. This is the God card, I call it, because this is about light, but it's about the creation, like the initial creation of light and all that. So this will be the God card. Below that was wisdom, and then the God card. Above it is dying to self. This is Azrael, taking the soul from the body. So there is a fundamentalism to his religion. Netzah is about endurance. This is the whole idea of one day, all of this will be over and I'll go to heaven. Gavura is the card of judgment. This is the card of overcoming. So all he cares about is saving souls and going to heaven. So sort of Southern Baptist, but it's imbalanced because I have here and now. This is living in the moment, but it is coupled with serendipity. This is when everything falls into place. So everything has to be in order. Everything has to be an order. It has to be like his version of God says so. And the reason I say his version of God is because this card says the temple is my body. The temple of my body, which means that you are shamed of being primal. You're ashamed of your things that you were born with.
Your urges.
All of your sins. And so he is sort of a slave to his religion, a slave to his dogma, a slave to his way of thinking. He can't break out of that, I think, even if he tried.
Shame and fear.
Yes. Interesting.
Yeah. I'm getting the card of benevolence, but it's also about robbing Peter to pay Paul. It's also about tithing. It's also about sharing, but sometimes like giving it all to one person. So it's not equal sharing. And I get the challenge is to be equal, reciprocity, to be equal in the eyes of God. So he does believe in a hierarchy. It looks like of spirits or of people. He does have a different outtake on religion. He's got a different view of it, and he does have the bully pulpit there. But here's Mother crowning the reading. I think she gives a lot of the dogma he believes. He's doesn't want to be touched by other women, doesn't even want to like sit and have dinner with other women. So it's not just Mother, it's like women in general. Like he's got a thing about women. He does feel victorious in his religion. Interesting, he shows up as the King of Wands here. So he does feel victorious in his religion, but he would like to shake it up more and move forward his agenda with it.
Mm-hmm.
So he definitely has an agenda that he'd like to bring to America. He'd like to transition America into his type of religion. That's what I'm getting.
Maybe that's what that Six of Pentacles, I drew that too. Maybe that's what it is that I'm giving you the way, the truth, and the life. How interesting.
Yeah. So let's see Barr's religious belief.
Cotton candy and circus peanuts.
8 minutes till midnight.
We'll do 3 here. Huh. Drew the same cards that I got for Pence in the tarot anyway. This is a little different though. Yeah.
His views go way back, way back.
His feels secret. Like a few people know about this type thing.
I swear I get an Opus Dei feeling off of it, because they tend to like, what do they call that, flagellation, where they beat themselves in private, and
he's got a society thing.
He's got a society thing, and he's got a big society thing, and he's got a self-abuse feeling.
Yeah.
Meaning in secret he thinks he's not worthy. We got Una with us. Hey, Una.
Okay, I need to look something up.
While you're doing that, I'll take up through my cards. It's definitely a big business. Religion is a business to him. His challenge is to stand in his own truth and power. So, in other words, in his religion, he doesn't feel worthy. It's something that he's held for a long, long time. I have the judgment card here, so dying to self or born again. He's got the hangman also. He's got a different perspective than your average Joe Schmo in his religion. He's got a really different, weird perception here. He's a warrior for it. So he's showing as the knight of swords. So he's not the king. He's not, higher up. He's a soldier for it. But I think he does, to use your words, die to self. The focus is on self. But endings in sorrow and stabbing himself in the back. I get a self abuse. On the bottom, I had the 8 of Wands, which is something, communication. So something that's talked about, something that's known, but he keeps it quiet because I have the Hermit for him. He does it in quiet.
I got all that. Exactly. I had to look this one up. It's called Deep Knowing. And this is like a card where it said in the book, listen to the oracle within, is basically what it was. But my tarot says the Queen of Swords, which is him, but it's he's the King of Swords, but this is subservient. So this is the person beneath, receiving or begging or submitting to whoever this is. And this is the Fool. This is the person who sort of begins again each day type of thing. Raziel is the Angel of Mystery. This is the person of codes, secrets, things like that, sort of like an inner esoteric type of thing. Shakiel, this is the person of the sky, so guarding and protecting, standing guard. Israfel is sort of the card of judgment. This is like not just judgment, but like the rapture, because it's an ending, then a beginning. Fork in the road, this is you're not quite sure which way to go, but you do assess before you go down one way or the other. Exchanging gifts literally means getting something you did not earn or putting a price upon something. So like salvation and a soul. And then there's the deep knowing. So the knowledge within. Then I have alone in the world. This is shutting everything out and then expecting it to come back. And so he has a sort of die to self and then die to self and then open to religion. But he has this I'm not worthy mentality to where he feels as though everything is more expensive than he is when it comes to his religion. And Pence is the, way, the truth, and the life. And then Barr is the I'm not worthy person. Both of them are out of balance with what God and spirit actually is.
Yeah. They both seem fear-based.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Okay, 3 minutes to midnight. 2 minutes on TV, of course. Yeah, 2 minutes.
I got 2.
It just changed on my computer. So 3 cards on 2020.
So I think he's unworthy too. Yeah, me too. I have a meme saying Jesus regrets dying for you. It's very mean. Oh, Lord. Can I do 3 more?
You might need to wait till after midnight and throw again, because I think on 2020 we need a lot more. because there's a lot of stuff that's smoke screened.
I get the Tower, the Ten of Pentacles, and the Queen of Cups.
Interesting, because I got the King of Cups, which is my Putin card. I got money news and money laundering card and gaslighting. We'll do another spread in a little bit on 2020.
Yeah, that Tower. I mean, this is my GOP, but it's Tower and finances or legacy money or big money, and then some woman.
For America. We're going to celebrate with the Eastern time, folks. First 40 seconds. I don't even have a party hat.
My fireworks going on now out there.
Are they? 29. The ball is dropping in Times Square. 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Happy New Year! What bell I have. My singing bowl.
Mine is loud.
Yeah, ring yours. The only noise we can make. I got my father time here.
We made it another year, y'all. See how worried you were last year. We made it. We made it.
So let's start off 2020. I'm going to pull out my other deck again. Let's do a little spirit advice for getting through 2020.
Oh, that's good. I got the sun card.
Before we get back into politics and stuff. Another year behind us. I don't know why I want to sing that song they sing at the ball games. Na 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 na. Hey hey. I just feel like Trump's going bye bye.
That could be another purple rain. Spirit might be giving that to you. For
Another song. Archangel, we were talking last night about Archangel Zadkiel. He's the archangel for mediums, and I work with him to give me symbols when I'm doing mediumship, when I need a symbol for something. And I got the song Purple Rain stuck in my head for 2 weeks and finally figured out, oh, he's giving me the symbol I asked for. So Purple Rain's one of my songs I hear for certain things.
So I have, okay, let me piece this together here.
I have cards keep falling out, so I keep shuffling them back in before I can pull. You pulled some angel oracles on this too, right?
Mm-hmm. I pulled one from each oracle in 5 tarot.
You're getting like Ganga.
The first card I get is the sun. It'll be all right. It will. There is preparation on the world stage, because this is also looking towards other horizons other than your own or wherever it is you stand. So this is an international card as well. It is followed by the world card. So this is like a oneness type of thing. However, it is followed by the Ten of Swords and the Knight of Swords, which is chaos and loss. Now, here is why that's a good thing, because forewarned is forearmed. You have the option. There is always a choice. Only thing, when people tell me what I need to do, I say I don't need to do nothing but stay black and die, because those are only 2 things that I cannot choose. Everything else, you have a choice. Uriel, this is the angel of flame. So untamed and free. So what you have to do is break your mentality if your mentality is this. Because you will always start with this. And it ends in this. And then this is in the middle, letting you know that what you're doing to yourself is sort of law of attraction. You're bringing the negativity in. You have to break. Free and untamed is good for certain things, but not for fire. And that's what this card is. You have to reel that in. You have to limit things. This is the exchanging gifts is putting a price on something. You have to limit things. You have to limit your intake of negativity when it is not outweighed or at the very least even with the positivity. And then this card is peace among thorns, a realistic approach and not a spiritual one. And so when you take things into you, when you take this into you, it taints your spirit. Because now you're downtrodden, and then you go to your stones and your sage and then your readers and then you want them to sort of make everything okay when it started with you in the first place. So we can make the situation fine, but the source of the problem is you. So when you intake the negativity and then you feel bad about whatever, just know it started this way. You did this. And so you have to have a more realistic approach, a more tamed approach, and not a chaotic one. Stay away from the chaos, whatever it is. Take it in little drabs, that way you stay informed, and then cut off from the rest. I'm
getting actually a very similar message. It's interesting because I've got the card of stuck, being a prisoner in your own mind. You know, this person, they have the head bandage on. They're loosely bound. If they would just loosen the ties and take the bandage off, they would see the swords are in the ground. They're safe. They're fine. So it's about being in a prison in your own mind and feeling stuck. So the message apparently is for anybody feeling stuck. It's, you know, here we are walking away from 2019. The challenge is to embrace our creative side. And this is interesting because this is my card that comes up for healers and mediums and people into metaphysics often because it's a creative fire energy to me. You know, energy is like a fire sign almost. So the challenge is to bring more of that positive energy in and to be more nurturing. So tapping in also to our feminine energy more. What I'm seeing is in the past that we were immature about the way we were dealing with our emotions. So it's about the structure of how we, you know, a lot of cups cards. So we're trying to grow and learn a better way of handling our emotions. And it's about the structure within ourselves. It's not the exterior structure, it's the structure within. This is one of my cards for reincarnation. It's like we've done this over and over and over again. We know how to do this. So just take a deep breath. We know how to do this and move forward. It takes time. It's not something that happens overnight. And it's almost like bullying away the negative energy. You know, that's law of attraction. It's like every time you get a negative thought, replace it with something positive immediately. You know, if you're sick, you know, you fake it till you make it. Also, even if you don't believe it yet, fake it till you make it and say it anyway in your mind. So if you're sick or ill, you tell yourself, I'm happy and healthy. If you're struggling financially, you say, I'm financially abundant. Whatever, you know, replace it immediately. I'm kind of married up there. I was getting this on Christmas. I kept getting that feminine energy coming through the reading. The shift, because we all have masculine and feminine energy, but bringing that more nurturing energy, not the kind of warring in your face masculine energy. So shall we go back to politics?
I think, okay, let me do this. That's kind of what we need to do for 2020. I'm going to pull 3 of these cards. That's some spiritual advice for just right now. Because it wanted to say something, so I'm going to let it say it.
Okay.
Three cards. For some reason, I guess somebody needs this. Let's see. One here. Yeah, same thing though. This is breaking free from attachments, the peace card. This is when the heavens bless you and you feel as though you didn't deserve it. This is that law of attraction again coming through. And this is being balanced. It's also more if you feel, because this is my most second requested reading. When I get people ask for personal readings, it is the number 2. Am I on the right spiritual path? This is your confirmation. Whoever is in here out of the 639 of you, Spirit had something to say and it probably didn't reach you any other way, but you are on the right spiritual path. Break free from whatever attachment you have right now that says that I can't do this because there's no such thing as you can't. Maybe you won't be the best at everything, but if it takes you 100 years to walk 1 mile, you will always lap the person who never got off the couch. So you may not be the greatest, but you won't always be the worst. So break free from whatever's attaching you. Ending, then beginning. So yes. Okay. Now we move on.
Shall we see what, let's look at here in the U.S., what one thing Spirit wants us to know for 2020. Before we get back into the questions.
One thing to take with you.
One thing we need to know. I heard just breathe. Just breathe.
And that's what I drew.
How funny. That's funny.
Oh, mercy. Well, sort of, but yes.
I'm totally convinced our spirits guides work together when we're doing it. They're having a little joke on us.
Okay, these keep flopping around here.
Happy New Year's to everybody that's not able to stay around, anybody that's having to leave. Oh, nice. Put a message on one of your videos to email me when you get a chance.
Yes, it is Stop and Breathe. Now, mind you, there is a card in here called Breathe, but I didn't draw that one. But I drew one that sort of says the same thing. Here and now is live in the moment. Stop worrying about tomorrow. Because it gets here when it gets here, and if it doesn't get here, then you'll be somewhere else and it doesn't matter. So it's like, here's the here and now. Worry about that. Serendipity. Things will fall into place in their own given time. You cannot rush time. It goes at the same 60 seconds it always has. And then this is time for a nap. This is where that whole take a moment and just recuperate. And then I get Istibus. This is the card of divination. This is the card I call for mediumship. Breathe, relax, meditate, think. This is emptiness with dots. Let your mind just sort of be a blank canvas if you can, and then endure. With Netzo, he will survive. Breathe. That's all you got to do.
Meditation doesn't have to be sitting with your hands like this, and and your legs crossed. It doesn't have to be that, like transcendental meditation. You can simply go outside and look at a tree and meditate, get lost in your thoughts. You can, for me, I love to meditate in the bath. I love to take baths and meditate. Water helps my energy. I'm getting grounding is very important here on the bottom. The steadfast Knight of Pentacles. He's very grounded, steady. He's not rushing into action. He's not, stepping backwards either. He's steady. What I get here is the emperor in the middle. So mastering ourselves, being the master of ourselves. The challenge is the illusions and masks that we sometimes put on, to not put those illusions and masks on ourselves, because that also causes anxiety. And I've got here, the balancing, the give and take between people and healing here for 2020. So, this is also my working across the aisle card. Maybe, Dems and Republicans are going to come together on something finally, right? But I've got the healing card here for 2020. And I also have the endings card coming for 2020. So we probably know who that's about.
And another thing about those masks is, like, I understand, because I worked retail forever and ever and ever, and you ask the person, "Hi, how are you?" Because that's part of customer service. I don't actually care how you are, but it's part of what we're supposed to say. And then a person would walk in and say, "Oh, I'm fine," and then we go on with the transaction. Have a nice day. Sometimes, though, if you are comfortable with the person, if you're not doing fine, say so. Like, you can fake it till you make it, but sometimes you need to just release it.
Yeah.
And maybe that person has the solution. Maybe they're in your space because the Wheel of Fortune put them there.
The quickest way to release a fear is to state it. Say what you're afraid of. Like, I'm afraid I won't have enough money, or I'm afraid of, this. State it, and then replace the thought.
Power of words.
Here to let go.
Naturally, the fireworks go off, then the sirens go off.
Here was something I wanted to look at the other night. What's Mueller thinking and feeling right now?
Ooh, I don't know if he wants the oracle. He may have to break the tarot out for this here one. Not the nice oracle. These are the nice oracles. These are the nice ones. These are the ugly ones. These are the informational ones. So I guess we'll do the ugly ones too. Mueller. Let's see, thinking.
Been very quiet all through the impeachment process.
I would be too, especially since he don't want to testify again.
I do think he'll come back at some point. We're going to hear from him, if not in impeachment, in court cases or something.
Let's see, thinking. Ooh, he's getting deja vu. Okay.
Yeah, he does. Something coming up and again.
That card, I got it.
Here we go again. Here we go again.
Oh, so I'm going to do the Celtic cross. I'm going to replace some of the tarot.
Get your shot glasses ready.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting. On the bottom, I've got stabbed in the heart, betrayal, like seeing all the betrayal, to our country. But also, I feel like Mueller feels it in his heart, like he feels stabbed in the heart. Like, how could they do this to our country?
So my first card is the Six of Cups. It's all come flooding back to him. He cannot get out of this. It's awful, so forth and so forth. Challenged by the illumination, challenged by the sun, challenged by stuff coming out. It's a constant battle. There's a bunch of new. I get the Empress and the Ace of Cups. So there's a lot of, we're asking what he's feeling. There's a lot of new emotions he didn't have before. I think when he was in detective mode, it was a bit of shock.
Mm-hmm.
Not a whole lot because he's a seasoned professional, but it's almost like when you're looking for something, you've looked for stuff before.
Mm-hmm.
So, but when you find something that you were looking for, it still gives you a little bit of shock because it's like, well, dang, he really did do this. You know,
Yeah, like quid pro quo, extortion, bribery, that he's done blatantly, but obstruction of justice, he did that before, and here he is doing it again on a bigger scale. It's
and then he has the Ten of Cups and Ace of Wands. He hopes that this will heal. He's really hoping for unity. That's what he really, really wants. There's also Cushiel. This is in the this is about punishment. This is about seeking out to punish. Addicted is the illusion of freedom. I think he knows in his heart of hearts this is over. That somebody is this whole thing about the Senate Republicans might not, and this, and he may be okay. I think Robert Mueller knows that Donald Trump's days are extremely numbered.
That is the darkest, weirdest looking card.
Yes.
It's like creepy in a sort of like vampirish looking thing, but Edward Scissorhands kind of.
It's called Addicted. And this is the card of the illusion of freedom. And it's kind of what we have here. Like we have free this and free that. You have free speech, but you don't have consequence-free speech. So it's the illusion of freedom. And then his hopes is for the tower. He knows it's over. And how does he feel? Then I get the card for breathe. So he's kind of like, he in his heart of heart, he feels as this is over. So I think he may be going towards relaxing a little bit, but not a lot.
Yeah. I have the same first card, Six of Cups. Here we go again. The challenge is to bring change this time, because what I feel like is he presented the Mueller report here in the past, and it's showing to me this is the Mueller report showing up as the Queen of Pentacles. So it's not the King of Pentacles because they wouldn't let him investigate the money and they wouldn't let him get bank records and all that. So it was like he had a lot of information on obstruction of justice and everything, but it was a little bit of an incomplete work. And he's, the challenge now is to bring change with all the new stuff that's coming out. But I've got, the Queen of Swords here at the bottom, at the root of this. He knows, like, there's still sealed indictments. There's still more evidence that's going to come out that's going to cause more court cases. And I've got the Two of Wands here crowning the reading. He's just waiting and watching. He's just waiting for that ship to come, and he knows it's getting ready to hit. Yeah, there's some bad news coming, and I think he feels that there's going to be some bad news coming for somebody, but about Russia, and in a way that's good news for the rest of us, is what I'm getting. He's feeling like we're quite strong, as a country is what I'm getting. So it's like he knows, like, even as we hear bad news, it just makes us stronger. It brings more and more information out. But it looks to me like he's expecting to see something else on Russia. Because he stated in his testimony last spring, he stated that Russia was still meddling in our elections right then, right at that time. It's still ongoing. They're still doing it.
Because I got that Ace of Wands and that Ten of Cups. There is a forced unity that Donald Trump did bring. Donald Trump is not evil in his self. I mean, yes, his actions are, but I think he's a necessary evil. Like, I wouldn't have known. There are 726 people here. Without Donald Trump, none of this would be going on right now.
Yeah, you guys wouldn't have met each other.
Yes. So he forced people to investigate and read more, and all these type of things didn't occur beforehand.
I have to say, this is the biggest New Year's Eve party I've ever been to. I was 721 people in here. So, speaking of Trump, What does Trump love besides himself, money, and golfing?
Oh, mercy.
What does Trump love besides himself, money, and golfing?
It's a loaded question right there. Got too much sugar on this table right now. Money, golf,
and himself. Oh, and he'll probably, yeah, on the bottom, tweeting. I was tweeting in there, and I've got tweeting on the bottom. Communication. The tweet. And he loves a lot of action, so he likes to flush his toilet 10 or 15 times.
Oh, mercy.
He loves to tweet. He loves to run his mouth, card of communication.
Oh,
Ooh. I keep saying, even though he says he never drinks, I think he drinks. That's my drinking card.
Oh, Jesus. Okay.
Oh, it's so funny how it's coming out. He's like squirrel, he's easy to redirect. He likes anything new, something new all the time. I do feel like he likes to drink. He likes to steal. He likes anything shiny. He likes to make plans, but he doesn't follow through on them. So he makes plans like, I'm going to build the wall, and then he's going to blame somebody else because they didn't get it done. Because he gets stuck. He likes to make plans, but he gets stuck, and he likes to do the same things over and over and over again. Tweet. He likes change also. He's about to have some change. What are you getting?
I'm getting something I don't think he loves anything. I think he just indulges, and that's addictive. I don't think he loves anything. The first card I drew from the Dark Mirror, and I get a card called Artificial Heart. This is a card that is cold, unfeeling, retracted, like you sequester yourself. You're a very cloistered person. Like society is unfeeling, has no joy, has no light, has no love, has no happiness. This is very it feels like that's him. And then I get Shatiel. This is a card of silence. This is a card of just nothingness, which I call the death card. This is the angel of silence. So they kind of go in tandem with this whole retracted.
That first card it's kind of like looks a little bit of bondage kind of feel to it. And Stormy did say she had to smack him with a rolled up magazine.
So I get why this is questioning everything, not for you, and then here and now. So that sort of goes in tandem with the tarot, which is the bully card. He likes to get away with things because then I give the fool injustice. And then the 10 of Cups and strength, because he likes, okay, if I had to say he loves to be the center. He likes himself. He loves it. Besides himself, that's all I get. It's himself. And I don't think he loves himself because I don't think he knows himself. I get colorless angel and downcast pride. This is a person in the inside that doesn't rock the boat because they don't want to cause too much commotion. And then the colorless angel, this is the person who talks a big game, but when it comes time to act, they flee.
they can't make anything happen. Yeah.
Yes. And what's interesting about this downcast pride is this person, it's a head and tentacles. There is no body. So he's not connected to anything. And so I don't think he has love in his heart. I think he's cold and retracted, but probably life made him that way. Yeah. Oh, no. I don't know. I can't cry for you, Argentina, though, because you had every single opportunity in the world to be a good person, and you chose the other route. People were less than him.
Mitch McConnell is going around that he may be addressing health care again in January. He would love to kill Obamacare again, which is probably another way of distracting from impeachment and stuff. But in 2020, will he be successful at killing Obamacare? Screwing up that for everybody, too.
And there will be people on Medicare and who can barely afford insurance will still vote for him anyway.
They've taken their food stamps away. They're going to vote for him again anyway. Now they're going to come after your Medicare. They're costing you more on taxes. It's going to come after your health care.
Will he be successful?
He's going to talk about it. He's planning. I love how they're always talking about changing our health care, and all they want to do is kill Obamacare. They've never come up with a plan to replace. It's like they just want to repeal. They don't want to replace. They have no plan.
And they only worked that repeal and replace into their slogan because they know it was good for votes. They're not going to replace it. They didn't have any intention of doing that.
I'm getting he's not listening to his constituents in here in my spread. He's just talking, making plans, but he's not listening to his constituents that are dissatisfied with the idea of losing their health care. He's got a hidden agenda about it. And he's lying to his constituents. His challenge is to have victory in changing healthcare. That's his challenge. I don't think he's going to be able to do it. It's weird. I'm not getting he stopped or blocked or anything like that. I'm getting something from the past coming up again that causes him changes. And it's around Putin and Russia, something about Putin and Russia, and he's going to be put on the defense. So I don't think he's going to be able to, but he would like to.
And I get the opposite.
Are you getting he's going to be able to?
I get not kill it, but they're going to dismantle parts. So there is the Ace of Cups, and then it's crossed by the Queen of Swords. There will be a lawsuit to stop him. But I get Death and the Queen of Pentacles. Queen of Pentacles is my America card. So I think there will be a major change since the Queen is here to something legislative. So they're already doing away with the mandate, and they're doing away with all these little pieces of it to where if you get enough stuff away from it, it doesn't work or it doesn't function like it should. And the 10 of Cups and the 7 of Cups, the Democrats are scratching their head. Moving on from that.
They don't know how to stop him. They don't have the votes to stop him.
Because that's after I get the Democrats and the confusion, I get the moon with them. So they're in a whole different space when they shouldn't be. They should already be prepared for this, but that's a rant coming on. We're going to move on. But in the outcome, I get the Magician. He has the power to do something. I think, and in his hopes, of course, is victory, but that's just the hopes. It's not predictive. And then I pulled 2 Oracle cards. There's Sacrifice. This is just being a part of something bigger. So this is something bigger than him. This is insurance company, pharmaceuticals, blah, 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 blah. Part of something bigger, and I clarified it with the card called fragmentation. This is restoring something to functionality, but not wholeness. And so if you were to, this is like a donut on the car instead of a whole tire type of thing. So they're going to put something in place to where it is crippling Obamacare or the ACA, and it won't be completely whole. And so it may not work for a lot of people. I think he might get something off there, because then the fear is the money and the opportunity. What am I can't.
So I have one more question on Mitch McConnell. The House approved a spending bill, a federal spending bill. And then when it went to the Senate, Mitch put in for $914 million to go to Kentucky, added it in before Trump signed it. He put it in after the House had voted on it. So sneaky little Mitch. In the federal spending bill, $914 million, he snuck into it. Tax cuts for the wealthy. There is money for a veterans hospital that'll be built in Kentucky. Everything's going to Kentucky. So it's tax cuts like for the horse breeders in Kentucky, like they need a tax cut. There's a little bit of money for the coal miners to improve their pension fund, but he didn't designate any money for the Black Lung Foundation. And, the coal miners actually took busloads up to his office in Washington. He refused to meet with them. I don't know if you remember that back in the summer, but he only has a 34% approval rating in Kentucky now. But it's basically what he's going around in rallies and saying, I got $914 million for Kentucky. So he's like bribing votes, basically. So my question is, this $914 million, with only a 34% approval rating right now, will it shift some votes his way? Will it help him? Or are they completely sick of him? He's trying to bribe for votes because he's so low in his polls.
I've seen the story, too, that Doug Jones might deflect from the Dems and support Trump. I didn't read the story, though, but the Alabama guy who ran against Roy Moore.
Oh, man. Oh, he might become a Republican just to run against Trump?
He might support Trump's Trump side in impeachment.
Hey. That would be bad.
He can forget about being elected.
Your $914 million you got to bribe votes, is it going to help you or not? Are you going to improve in your polls and get more votes? Pull out a win. And mind you, he also got more money through Elaine Chao, $97 million. He also got money from a Russian oligarch again. So the money just keeps pouring in.
How his constituents have no problem with that, I don't understand. You sent them there on your behalf, not to become corrupt. Will it help? I don't think so.
I think he's going to end up in court.
First card I get was justice.
Yeah, I think he's going to end up in court. That's the last card I got was justice.
I got justice in my card for America.
He's bookended by justice. I have your dark money card on the bottom.
And then I get something overseas being looked at.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Something overseas that brings justice.
And then there is this, I don't know who this is or what this represents, but it feels like this is his community, and this is walking away with the 8 of Cups. This is like people who are supposed to be on his side, sort of leading the charge with the King of Wands. I drew this card, Envious Gluttony. This is a like the wolf in sheep's clothing, but this is the person who lies and waits and then sets a trap. So I don't think that, and then I clarify it with the colorless angel. I don't think that they're fooled by this. And not to mention, there is so much that he brings along. And mind you, the 914 is supposed to just be a shadow or a smoke screen to say, hey, I'm doing something good, so vote for me. Yeah, no, I think they're looking past it. And they're going to see you in court or something with the justice card.
Yeah. I've got, he's already losing. He's already a loser right now. His challenge is his secret hidden agenda. At the root of this, he's already out in the cold. And in the past, they've already walked away from him. And then I've got King of Swords crowning and the Queen of Swords in the future, something to do with overseas, with either quid pro quo or bribes or money laundering. He's taken money from Russia for stuff in Kentucky and for his own election probably, and has promised to help try to get the sanctions released. He's going to end up in court.
Yeah.
He's going to end up in court. So I don't, let's ask, is he even going to be there to run? They're already investigating Elaine Chao, so. Got Judgment on the bottom. I don't think he's going to be there. He's already lost. Getting an offer he doesn't want. Separation from receipt and end of a cycle. Completion. Done. Not running again. Defending himself. Isolated.
He's on trial for something. I get the Y card. Let's just question everything. This is being questioned. The Sun and Temperance. So there might be something in his defense. So it means someone's coming against him. It is because of the work. It's a lot of work, though. This is not, maybe this is something he's done, of course, over the decades, being a 10.
Yeah.
And the dark money with the 3 of Pentacles, and then his Dark Alliance with the 3 of Cups. So I didn't get an answer to whether or not he'd be there, but they're looking into his business. And I drew that another oracle card, and it said, the past, trying to heal the past. So this is like him defending against his past actions.
So there's that 3 of Cups again. Do a spread maybe with your oracles. Why does the 3 of Cups keep coming up in a lot of the readers' readings? What's that about? We get it over and over Sunday night, over and over again.
Because we know why we get the fool, because Donald Trump is foolish. Not even as an insult, it's just the truth.
I mean, three of Cups. We were talking about this last night for those watching. It's about circle of support or celebrations. It's the 3 muses. I feel like there's something we're not hitting on in the meaning of it because it keeps coming up over and over again.
For everybody. I heard the word revolving just now. I think it changes. Like the people, it's people though. Let me see. Let's keep going. Okay, 3 of Cups. I did 3 cards, 3 oracles here. Okay. Okay.
Ona's Tarot is talking about, she lives here in Illinois too, right, Ona? They just, at midnight, they legalized marijuana here in Illinois. So they had some dispensaries opening at midnight. I love it that they opened a Taco Bell in my town at the same time they legalized marijuana.
So there is it's a bit of a mask, is what this is. There are 3 different entities or faces that are being shown. 1, alone in the world, is it me, and calling the storm. This is the adaptable one. This is the person who pushes out and waits, and then this card means, what the hell does it mean? Yes, losing your true self. So these two are sort of like are hidden. This would be behind the scenes, calling the storm. The people in the forefront are not always the ones who wield the most power. The people who are always doing the talking. So one of these people would be like an investigator, somebody who is behind the scenes doing all the work that we never ever see, but we always hear about because the media gets a hold of it. The other one is a person of tremendous insight. This is message in a bottle. This is divine messaging. This comes from the heavens type thing. Fork in the road, they can discern what it is they're actually looking at. No place like home. This person they fit in everywhere. So it's not a person you would suspect, kind of like an Adam Schiff type of thing. So it's a person who can blend in. So one person is behind the scenes, the other person's up front, but does not give you the feeling of threat. They're very smart. They're very articulate. They put forth the right message. You cannot trip up their message. So whatever it is they say, you can spin it however you want to, but it still remains true.
I just flashed as you were talking on an image of circling wagons around.
Yes, and I got the word revolve earlier. It's
circling wagons around them, and they can't, just like trapping them all in and wagons circling around them.
This is basically its team. So I don't know whose team or exactly what, but it's basically meaning team. Semikiel is the angel of vengeance. This is the person who goes out to right the wrong. Tiferet, this is a person of meekness. Now, you wouldn't think they would go together, but if you looked at a Robert Mueller, he can bring the law, but he does not look threatening.
Yeah, walk softly, carry a big stick.
Yeah. And then Bana is the person of knowledge. This is the person who has the knowledge, who knows things in and out, like a Robert Mueller. So you have let's say a Nadler who is behind the scenes, or like Maxine Waters behind the scenes, someone very unassuming.
Mm-hmm.
Then you have someone very soft, yet they have the knowledge and you can't trip them up, like a Adam Schiff. And then you have the one who can lay down the law, but does not seem threatening, like a Robert Mueller or a Nancy Pelosi. So this is a team. This is a team, but it's a shifting team. So when we get it each time, you may have to just take it as in accordance to whoever it is you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Because if it's, say, for instance, Roger Stone, then it might be a judge and then an investigator and then a lawyer.
Yeah.
Somebody
in the FBI and like circling the wagons again. Yeah, it's interesting because I pulled a few cards and I've got Nancy Pelosi on the bottom, and I get, the thief that takes advantage of the impoverished, and the gifts of money, or stealing money. Stealing money is what I feel, and then I get Nancy on the bottom, climbing to higher ground, and getting enough that she gets cooperation. She gets people, across the aisle to work, and it's about Russian money. She's got something on Russian money, I think. But I kept flashing on wagons circling when you were talking. It was wow.
I pulled 3.
So when we get that, we know, okay, they got their wagons circling around that person. They're going down.
Arrow, and I got the Chariot, as you say that. And then I got the Moon, and then the Ace of Pentacles. So whoever carries the resources, they are
circling the wagons.
Yeah. And you don't really, because it's very unassuming. You don't really know why they're there. But once they become damaging, then you will understand.
Wow. So
10 minutes to our midnight.
Oh yeah. There's a lawsuit on Kellyanne Conway to get her out of the White House because she is the Citizens for Responsibility and Ethics failed to do what they were supposed, or no, they filed the lawsuit. Sorry, the OSC, Office of Special Counsel, failed to do what they were supposed to do when she broke the Hatch Act 60 times, 60 documented times. Now she's done it more than that, but 60 times in the lawsuit that are documented. So the Office of Special Counsel didn't do what they were supposed to do with it, and send it to the Merit System Board. So now the Special Counsel Office, as well as White House, are being sued. Kellyanne Conway, is she going to get kicked out for violating the Hatch Act?
I am in Florida, B.S. Hancock. I'm just in the Panhandle, and it's on Central Time.
Less than 8 minutes. Kellyanne Conway, you gonna get kicked out of the White House? Ooh, out in the cold on the bottom. It's interesting. I've got some swords, but I don't have like king or queen of swords. I don't have justice. I don't have judgment, but I do have some cards that kind of imply she's going away.
Because I think because I don't have the forced out. I think what might be happening here is the Republicans or the 10 of Pentacles. This could be the courts as well. Something just bigger than them. But this also does have something to do with money.
Yeah.
And then I get the Four of Swords. So there is a rest period. So sort of like a wait for the verdict type thing. And then there is walking away. I think they're going to give her the option to leave on her own.
Yeah.
I don't think that they're going to force her out, because here is the Knight of Cups. Now, her initial one that hit the news is when she was doing her garbage for Ivanka. And then there's the Hermit. So there's going to be more investigation into her sort of playing pretty with other people. And I drew some oracles. There is the Estabus. This is about the mediumship, but this is looking deeper into something. And then I did this one, hiding one's true self, and then triumph of lies. They both mean the same thing, a false appearance. And so it might be that she is going to say, I'm going to go work here instead of here because my talents would be better used here. So they're going to give her the ability to spin it in the media that she's not getting kicked out.
Yeah, I'm getting that she's continuing to work, but she's transitioning into something different. But she's like out of the White House. Like they're going to give her an office outside the White House so that it's not violating the Hatch Act. Because I get her, standing up there lying all the time. The challenge is, justice is coming for her. She's stuck. She's caught. Ten of Pentacles on top of her too. So it has to do with money and donors. I think where they're going to shift her to something to do with the party, and money and donors. Because I still get she's working, but she's transitioning to something else, and she's still going to be bullying. She's still going to be mouthy. She's still going to be the messenger. She's still going to be spouting crap. So we're not rid of her, but she won't be in the White House. That was interesting.
4 minutes.
4 minutes.
Yeah, like Sarah Sanders. They let her go on her own, and she just said, because mind you, if you don't have automatically a job at Fox News, that means you didn't have one when you left. And so she had to leave involuntarily. She just did a Star Jones and said, I'm deciding to move on. No, you're not. I think she was the best liar they ever had, though. I'd have kept her around.
I did enjoy Sean Spicer because he would get so frustrated and yelling. He was like the most frustrated human being I've ever seen. And of course, Melissa McCarthy on SNL doing Sean Spicer was hysterical.
He was the gift that kept on giving us.
Yeah.
Because I know his intestines were in a knot. I just know they were. He just sounds so uptight and just stuck.
Hiding in the bushes.
That job was not for him.
Him and the mooch, Scaramucci, that lasted, 2 days?
And my burning sage. No, this is my diffuser. It's peppermint coming out of there, actually.
Oh, nice.
It clears my airways.
Okay, so Trump's raging on Twitter and playing golf while our U.S. embassy is being attacked in Baghdad. So he's got his own little Benghazi going, right? Will there be an investigation like they did on Hillary over and over and over again? What happened? Who's at fault? Or will they just let it go because nobody died, as far as I've seen?
Or is this another, they attacked us, so let's start a war so I don't have to leave office type of thing?
Yeah.
Let's see, will this be his Benghazi? Well, King of Swords right in the middle, King of Cups at the bottom, Knight, so all these pages and court cards. Okay. So Trump in the middle. It is about him. There is a leader that is not him, so it's not Thorne though. But whoever, well, there's yes, I'm going to say yes, because there's a lot of chaos and we don't know what happened. And there is a person who is either going to come out and tell the biggest lie you ever heard because they're working with him in tandem with the temperance card, or they're going to throw somebody under the bus, or something's going to happen to where somebody else is going to be the face of this.
There's going to be a lot of talk on this. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of conversation at the White House.
Mm-hmm.
What do I have on the bottom? So will they investigate? I've got the kind of watching mode right now. I've got Nancy at the root of this, keeping an eye on things. Trump's now in defense mode. They're kind of watching, but there's a hidden agenda. There's something unknown right now, so they're kind of watching, and it has to do with the movements of what's going on in Iraq. But I get crowning the reading something about steady money in relationship to the White House. Oh, you know what? It's not steady money. I'm just feeling that it's about something. She's waiting for something tangible to happen. Like if there's movement and something tangible, like somebody gets killed. She's waiting before she moves on the White House, but there's going to be a lot of reporters asking questions. They're going to try to block, and there is going to be somebody else that's a spokesperson for the White House.
I got that King of Pentacles too. There's somebody else who is going to be doing a lot of the talking. And I think because, if you let diarrhea of the mouth do the talking, then something's going to come out and plan on.
Happy New Year again. Happy New Year. Central Time New Year. Fireworks in Chicago. Okay. The last question I have. When Trump's out of office, the first movie that's made about him, it's going to be a comedy, a tragedy, a drama. What type of movie is it going to be?
A cartoon.
A cartoon animated.
Although I like cartoons.
And movie, like not a TV show or something. That they'll bring the West Wing back with a totally screwed up cast.
Be a horror.
Poor babies are all asleep. They're all sacked out. It's bedtime.
Let's do these. Yeah, we're asking after he leaves the White House.
After
they made some stuff about him already. After he leaves.
Big movie.
Because his story will then technically have an ending as president. What will they do?
I was laughing. I forgot who it was that was talking about. Well, I guess they can't build a presidential library for him because he doesn't read.
He would have loved that. Something with his name on it.
Trump library in gold with no books in it. Be a bunch of Playboy magazines.
Only library with no books.
Library and not a book in sight.
A bunch of McDonald wrappers on the shelf. Lord. Maybe documentary style. I get Truth Be Told is the first card I get. This is open-mindedness and looking deeper. And then divine timing. So this is something about history and something about something that has happened. and then getting to the core. So I think a documentary, but that is definitely a horror if you learn all the truths about him.
It's interesting. I think somebody overseas is going to do one before we get one made here in the U.S. Like something off the ground overseas. I'm kind of getting it might be a little bit integrated between the Dark Night of the Soul, the tragedy of it, versus the good news and lighter energy of it. So I kind of feel like Two of Cups, like the emotions are a little 50-50 on it. So maybe a dramedy, as they call them. Dramedy, drama. I just laid some clarifiers. I get the Fool and his hidden secrets. So there might be it's like it's not going to be all about the money. It's going to be some of his dark, funny secrets.
He's lived a long life.
And the women and stuff like that. Yeah, there we go. This little mushroom, you know what? I'm out of questions. Anybody got questions for us in the comments?
I got two.
Have you got a couple?
A while ago, Trump was tweeting about an investigation that he wanted done that nobody else paid attention to about Paul Pelosi Jr. This is Nancy Pelosi's son. And he works for a firm over in Ukraine as of 2017.
So he's going after Pelosi and Biden's sons in the Ukraine.
And so he wanted an investigation like he did for Biden and Hunter. So he wanted one for Paul Pelosi Jr. Now, again, nobody paid attention to him, but I want to know, is he going to try to revamp that when she releases her articles of impeachment?
Wow. Because most of his tweets are either anger at Nancy or the do-nothing Democrats. But, I mean, a lot of tweets he slams at her.
I did what was it on? What was the question I asked? Why is he obsessed with Pelosi or something like that? Is it just because of this, or is it just? And I got that he fears her.
Yeah.
Like he hears her name and he goes into, defense mode.
I feel like it's the first woman he hasn't been able to control, and it bugs the crap out of him.
Mm-hmm. He cannot stand, because he's not an alpha male, and he cannot stand a strong woman, especially an Aries woman. And she don't take crap from nobody. And he's not used to that. He did an interview a long time ago. If dinner's not ready when I get home, I hit the roof. Well, you couldn't do that with Pelosi. You poison your behind before you knew it.
You hit the roof, you'll be at the curb.
You'll hit the frying pan is what you're going to hit.
I still love to play the clip of her when they the articles of impeachment passed and they started to applause, and she was like, that mom look she gave him, it was like, oh man.
Like, don't you clap. Don't you do it.
Got my gavel. I'm going to come over there and use it on you.
Will he try to revamp the Paul Pelosi investigation when the articles come out? Probably a tweet. I get 8 of Wands and then the Ace of Swords. So information. This is through the air. So probably a tweet or something like that. There is preparation. King of Wands. He's kind of, I don't know who this might be Paul Pelosi. So maybe he is preparing for whatever he has to, because it also involves overseas. So he's probably preparing his defense too.
Yeah. He's planning, preparing.
7 of Pentacles and 6 of Cups. There is something because this is coming back again. So this is something that was planned a long time ago and it's coming back again. So I think more tweets than investigation, because there's probably nothing there.
Yeah, because I have on the bottom, like, he's looking for partners. He's looking for somebody, whether they can actually find truth or whether they can get somebody to make up stuff, what he's trying to do with Biden's son. It's like, if he can't get the truth that's damaging, he's going to have somebody write something corrupt, so he's stuck. His challenge is it's hard work. So I feel like, Paul does feel like they're planning on it. They're trying to. I'm getting crowning the reading like he's got somebody working on it. The problem is they can't find anything.
Mind you, he would worked over there, and so they're touting Ukraine corruption.
Yeah, because Rudy keeps running over there, and Barr keeps running to Austria and everywhere, and Nunez and everything. I'm getting they can't find anything that he's secure. He's secure. So I think they've already been kind of looking.
So my next question is about the Doug Jones. Was that a false story, or is he? Because it says that he may basically join those other two Democrats, Andrews and that other guy, and sort of side with Trump on, and well, I should say side with McConnell on not being cooperative. But if he voted, well, no, he's a senator, isn't he? So he wasn't.
If they start losing Democratic votes in the Senate, they're in big trouble.
Mm-hmm. There's the high priestess come flying out of there. Let's see. Is this a false story? I don't think he is. I don't think he will. Let me say that. I get that he's scared out of it.
Yeah, I had to keep kind of laying cards. It was like kind of interesting how it's. He's worried about money. He's worried about his donations and stuff to run again.
What card did you get?
Ace of Pentacles as the challenge. Like, he's worried about money. And I've got the Knight of Pentacles on the bottom also. But he's also worried about image. And how it would look.
That's what I get.
And Nancy Pelosi here at the bottom. And he's also seeking answers. So, without everybody testifying, how do you get the answers when they're blocking people from testifying? So he's seeking some answers. But I get he's worried about money, but he's also worried about image. So it's kind of weird. It's like, it's kind of a 50-50 a little bit. But it looks to me like he decides not to. Like, he blocks and doesn't vote to acquit.
So I get Page of Pentacles. Like, this is his votes. This is his action, and it is crossed by image, so he has to maintain his image, because mind you, he got in because of black women vote. So I'm pretty sure the majority of Trump's voters is not black women. So if you plan to hold on to your seat, then you must protect your image, because I don't fully trust him anyway. I think he was just the lesser of the two evils, since one of them was a little person abuser.
Yeah.
And then there is the Five of Pentacles and the Seven of Wands. He can be thrown out very easily. He is not a staple. He barely got in, and he would have to defend himself against not his opponent, but his voters. Then I get the Tower and the Empress. So whatever this new interest he had is coming to an end. The Chariot and the Eight of Cups. He does not want this battle. And then I get the King of Swords and Strength. There is possibly a little bit of Trumpyism in his mind, though. But he has to walk away from it because he has to keep his job.
Yeah, I get he's like, trying to mix it up just right. He does seem confused. I got a lot of two cards, like he's juggling and trying to decide.
That's all I had. The other ones that I wrote down are not political readings.
Anything funny?
No. There's a man who was arrested for practicing medicine without a license. I've done one like that before. And then there was a bunch of Nazi cadets, a bunch of cadets holding up the Nazi symbol who got fired in Virginia. The Virginian governor gave the okay to dismiss all of them, to fire all of them, because they were supposed to go work in like the prison systems. And I was wanting to know if this is a bigger problem than just them, because they were going to go be guards. And so it was a sort of some feel, because all of them did it. It was a whole class of them, and they all did it. And he said fire every single last one of them.
Wow.
And I looked up the other day the white settlement shooting. The white settlement got its name because it was a white settlement. That land belonged to the Choctaw, I believe, and white people settled there, and now it's called white settlement. And they had a proposition to change the name, I think either 2017 or 2007. It was a 7 somewhere in there, and they voted it down. Said keep it like it is.
Wow.
So I have no readings. What y'all got? I think something about the small business associate, or how the small business is going to do. The Trump administration small business secretary person is Linda McMahon. I haven't heard much from her. Like, she ain't making the news. And her husband is Vince McMahon, who is the president CEO of WWE Wrestling. And so they made a very large contribution to Donald Trump's campaign. That's how she got the job. But she's not making waves like Betsy DeVos. So I hadn't heard much from there. And they do not have a small business. They're billionaires.
Yeah, I was kind of laughing the other day. I'd forgotten one of the fraud lawsuits that Maria Butina's boyfriend, Paul Erickson, had was over fraud over a toilet that he claimed he designed that I can't remember what it was about the toilet. Like, it was supposed to be a composting toilet of some kind or something, and it was fraudulent. One of his fraud lawsuits is over taking investors on for that. And I'm like, gee, I wonder if that's why Trump's all hung up on his toilet. Oh, he did a speech over the last few days to a group of young Republicans where almost every word in the speech was slurry. His comments were completely unintelligible and rambling. Take a look if he's been partying too much before he goes to a rally for young Republicans.
What about Eric Prince in Venezuela? Tallulah, you're supposed to be asleep. Oh, you woke up for us. Well, thank you. We appreciate it. Y'all pray for Tallulah. She got injured in a kickboxing accident. No, she did. Before somebody think I was serious.
Just trying to think what else was.
If Trump doesn't love any, does he love his kids? Or are they just employees?
Every time I've read on him and his kids, I get that he would throw them under the bus in a heartbeat. Let's ask. Does he love his kids? Any of them? He doesn't, especially like little children, because like when his grandkids are around, like he is never the grandpa that's holding the hands and stuff.
He doesn't like innocent things. That's why he doesn't like pets
either. Didn't want to be bothered.
Ask how many he has. No, thank you. Does he love his kids?
I got the Knight of Pentacles on the bottom. He's focused on the money. You know, if he could sell his kids. Make a profit off them, maybe.
Well, here's the thing. Like, I'm done. I ain't doing nothing else. I put everything away. Good night. So I get the 3 kids, right? And there they are.
And there they are.
This is love. This is celebration and connection, actually. It's not really
emotions.
Love. It's not really love, but it's crossed by the 3 of Pentacles. So you have 3 of Cups and 3 of Pentacles, 3 kids or 3 emotions and 3 monies. It's always something connected to a darn pentacle. Always. Always. It's like they're tax write-offs in the beginning, and then they're employees when they grow up. And then there's the 4 of Wands and the Ace of Pentacles. Everything is connected to money. So you have the home, and then you have the money. It's not necessarily about them. It is about what they can do. And then I have the Lover's card, but then I have Justice. So they are my kids because somebody said so. And they are sort of a balance to, because mind you, when I read across, I have the Lovers, 3 of Cups, crossed by the 3 of Pentacles. Then I get Justice, and then I get the Fool. So it's like, it's not, I should get like 6 of Cups, like these are my cherished children or something like that. I get legal stuff. This is like staunch, no feeling. They're just, it's a mental thing. It's not a heart thing.
I get his challenge is the 6 of Cups.
I sure
like,
got that.
It's his challenge to love them. Like he can't bring himself to love them. And I've got, Sword of Truth and Power here. But the challenge is to love the children. The challenge is the children because at the root of it is money. And he's always going away from him. It's not in him. It's not in him. The 5 of Cups, it's like he can't focus on them. He's focused on his spilt cups. He can't look at the kids.
I'm finding, oh, there it is. Like I'm looking for the 6 of Cups, right?
Mm-hmm.
I pull 3 cards at a time to see what story it would tell when it did come up. So I get the Empress. This is mother and birth. And then the Six of Cups was at the end, but in the middle was the Page of Pentacles. Still something tangible, money is still connecting the two. So it's not who they are, it's what they can do. They are a tax write-off in the end, and their employees. I mean, look at the little kid, he's wearing a suit, for God's sakes. Put him to work.
He's a little businessman. Yeah, get over there, get behind that desk. You got to work now.
And the mother is the shadow. It's like she was just the means to the end.
Child labor.
Ugh. I mean, they kind of were. You know, they were snoozers. He wore them like accessory, like a Kardashian or something. So, yeah.
I kind of expected to see, like, okay, well, maybe Ivanka or something, but
they're all resources.
Yeah.
I think his attachment to her is just impure. But
yeah. But I get he likes when I did like a reading on him and other women. I got that he likes women that look like Ivanka.
Mm-hmm.
That's a while back.
Does he love Melania? Or is she also a means to an end? I guess she would be too. If only thing he loves is himself and nothing, then.
Yeah, we didn't have any people showing up when we were asking what else does he love. It was just money.
It's a mess. Will Michelle Obama ever run? No, she said she wasn't. She already answered on several interviews because, of course, naturally, after Obama, everybody wants her to run for president. She said no.
Yeah, government's too hard to work for her. She won't do it. I wouldn't be surprised if one of his kids someday ran.
Junior, they threw his name out there.
Malia or Sasha.
Will Eric Swalwell run again? He's doing really good in his public profile. I think right now was just too early. I'm waiting for old girl from Georgia. What's her name?
Stacey Abrams.
Yes.
Swalwell, I'm getting he's stuck because of money. Can't get enough fundraising.
Mm-hmm. Waiting on the money. Well, not right now. Maybe later on.
Let's look at Stacey Abrams. We'll see ever, not in 2020, obviously, but will she ever run for president?
Yes, she will.
I'd like to see her get the governorship in Georgia and kick some butt back.
These southern states, I swear, you vote against your own interests and then think you did the right thing. Because you don't like liberals, then you cripple yourself too. I have a card for that too. It's called Parasite. And you feed on the host that you're, sucking the life from. But once they die, then you die too. It's like, that's kind of what it is. It's like you get them in because you don't like liberals and liberals' agenda. But then they torture you just the same as us. And so you lose too. Why you think you're winning?
I don't think Stacey's going to ever run as president.
If she does, it's going to be a long way off.
I feel like, she's dissatisfied with something. I've got end of a cycle, and then the family legacy card, things changing, and then I have the heartbreak.
What does she do, like professionally? Is she some kind of legal something? Stacey went to Harvard Law. Okay. So
Yeah.
I get Justice card, and then the King of Cups. She's legally supportive, some sort of maybe AG or something like that. And then my Oracle cards say the same thing. This is like the card for law. This is Zadkiel. This is, even he has a scale as well. Something about a balance and mercy and that type of thing. So yeah, she's a lawyer. So yeah, she will definitely be in an administration.
Yeah.
Definitely. And I think she will be comfortable there. Kind of like Eric Holder. Like he's been in public service forever and ever and ever, but he never wanted to be president either. Well, he's sort of hinted at it, but he's
or
not.
maybe vice president or something, be a running mate.
So you'll see her again, definitely. Kellyanne is a plant. She just might be. Because she just talks a good game. She ain't on nobody's side but her own. Yeah, that's what Eric Holder, and Obama are actually doing, is working on redistricting maps and gerrymandering and all that good stuff.
Oh, and John Lewis is sick now. Did I see that?
Yes, he's stage 4 cancer, I believe.
Wow, let's see how he's going to be.
Stage 4, is it pancreatic cancer?
Ooh. Running out of a lot of our civil rights leaders.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of get that, like he improves a little bit and then starts having a hard time again. Burdened.
If the 10 of Wands fell out.
I've got the 8 of Wands, like it's fast moving.
There's a message that needs to come through this. I don't know exactly what. I get dots. This is emptiness. This is the void. So this would be like the veil. And then I get Hod. This is submission or prayers. And then Gabrielle, this is information, but it's information you have to seek. So it's like there is something that either his situation, or if his situation gets worse, and God forbid he does die, there is something. It's like the dam broke and some sort of information comes flooding through. Because I do get milk and honey. This is like abundance and like a better life. And I get the 7 of Wands. So there is some defending. So he is trying to fight this. But I still get like message something. Let me look and see what that is. What needs to come through?
He's a wonderful speaker. This guy. Maybe Elijah Cummings is helping him from the other side.
Because I get a healing energy. Because I keep getting the lovers. I shuffled and got it twice.
I just had the star fall out, which is healing.
There is, so the Hermit is my first card. So there is an answer, again, with Gabrielle that you can get, but you have to seek. 10 of Pentacles, 7 of Wands. So there is like defending the legacy, but this is like America legacy. And then I get 2 of Pentacles and Page of Pentacles. So there is I get like a healing that comes through should he cross over. Like, I don't understand that part, but let me see. There's somebody else coming through. Then I get a card called Between Worlds. There's somebody else coming through. I don't get any.
The messenger, which tells me it's probably like Elijah Cummings or somebody is trying to help from the other side.
It's an academic with the Thinker card. And all that glitters, this is possibly a person who looked deeply into things, or a person who was either investigator, they were a lawyer, they were somebody who read documents page by page looking for something. So let me see if I can see.
Could be Dr. King.
It's a strong healing energy, like a person who was about love and healing. It's a strong energy with that, though.
And also a little bit of a center of attention energy with that.
Who is coming through?
He's definitely got someone talking to him.
Yeah, they're a very meek person. They may this is like Temperance in this deck. This is a person who holds a lot of power, but they speak very softly. They're not a firebrand, but they are, when they speak, you listen because they speak so softly. A lot of wisdom, but they were a teacher. They taught. It is somebody from the past.
Yeah. It's somebody that's like family to him. So whether a close friend, someone that's like family. I feel like they're like meeting him to take him to the other side.
They were very, very positive. Yeah, I think it's somebody very close, like a family, because
there's also a woman. Is his wife still living? Anybody know? There's a man and a woman. Deep love for them.
Yes, she is alive.
So it might be his mother then, or somebody like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think maybe mother. This is somebody who carried the load at one point, and then the star. But yeah, I think. But why? I don't know. Maybe the healing part is not for, maybe it's for him. Maybe she's trying to offer him encouragement because, mind you, somebody tell you got stage 4 cancer, then
yeah.
You know. So it's more along the line of message for him. Oh Lord, something did change, so we may have to do that rating too. Hate to go from him to them, but will Stephen Miller be removed?
They just want me to have to sage after this.
Let's get the dark cards for him. Because now they're pressuring for his removal. I still say no, because he fits in with the rest of them.
Yeah, I don't think you can pressure anybody in that White House.
No. Yeah, no. There's a well, it's more describing him than anything. Mm-hmm.
Una's still got a very positive story she's sharing about cancer. She had stage 4 5.5 years ago, survivor. Yeah, he's still going to be the emissary for the king. That's on the bottom.
Page of Wands, Page of Pentacles. He has a job and he's being paid for it. Queen of Swords, Knight of Swords. There is someone above and then someone below. It's not the president, so he is still cherished in the White House. Knight of Wands and Ace of Wands. He still carries out their agenda. Envious Gluttony is lying in wait, setting a trap. And then is it me? This is you losing your true self. So you being a part of something that changes your identity. So he fits in. I don't think he's going anywhere.
Yep, he's in bed with them. Moving forward. He's eventually going to be put in a place of having to defend himself. He's eventually got the power coming on him. But it's not for a while, and it's over money. It's probably come out after Trump's gone. Yeah, he gets burdened by judgment later. Money, something monetary.
Anything else, y'all? You never had such an odd New Year, me either. I always worked New Year. I worked every holiday, actually. I worked at AT&T when the iPhone came out, so I worked every holiday.
Yeah, the last time we looked at Rudy Giuliani, we didn't really see too much going on for him in January. Let's see how his 2020 in total goes.
Keep going till the shop's open.
The end of my first full year on YouTube. I started up in September of 2018, I think it was, or August 2018.
That was December 9th. Now that embassy thing happened, there's always the chance that what is it, January 12th? Everybody keeps saying the worst thing in the world is going to happen that day because the Saturn-Pluto conjunction.
Yeah.
Rudy Giuliani, 2020.
Yeah, he's going away somewhere. Let's see.
We got to do Trump's 2022. See what his maybe like an overcast of his year. See what
maybe look by quarter or something. Yeah.
I have to bring out a bunch of cards for that. Giuliani.
I don't see him in jail by the end of 2020, but he's in deep caca. Rudy is. Yeah, he's the only other one that'll show up as the fool for me because he's just foolish. And Trump Jr. will show up as the fool.
That's what I just drew. Like my very first card.
Yeah. Him and Trump Jr. shows up as Fool Jr. Yeah, he's getting light shined on him by courts as well as Pelosi looking into what's going on. He's about wrapping up end of a cycle here. Betrayal, having to defend himself. He's going to be in court all over the quid pro quo and all his messing around did it. Funny, I don't get Liv and Igor around him. I never get like the two guys.
Look that up. Okay. So we start with the Fool and the Wheel of Fortune, and that is crossed by the Seven of Wands. So once the Trump garbage starts going on and really going on in 2020, well, today, in this year, then stuff really goes south. Two of Wands and the Ten of Wands. So his burden comes from overseas. Kills the priest. The Hangman and the Knight of Pentacle. There is a very well-connected man in real estate that's not Trump that is causing him some turmoil. So probably someone, again, overseas. His fear is overseas. Maybe that's the new shot game, overseas.
Something from overseas. They're going overseas. Back.
The White House is about to go through, naturally. This is, tear out the front page. So the White House is about to go through a lot of garbage. It's really hard with the Chariot card. So they're about to do a lot of defending, a lot of preemptive. Actually, no, I don't think that's true because they're not really ahead of the game type people. They're more like catch up from behind type people, which the Chariot kind of explains that because the Chariot is a race. So, yeah. Word of warning, Three of Pentacle, naturally. And your word of solace. Justice. And then your outcome is the Eight of Swords and the Page of Swords. So good for you. There's bad news in being trapped. So this is not something
possibly in prison
that you can get out of. The two oracle cards I pulled are quite interesting. Chest is about loving thy enemy. And top DL is about, I call it my card of death because it's silence and it's like nothingness. It's not the card of death technically, but to me it is. Someone close to him may be on the verge of betrayal. And it may be those Lev and Igors and Ren and Stimpy, those guys.
Well, Lev Parnas has already told on him some.
Because I get envious gluttony. This is a person laying a trap. And then is it me? This is a person who loses their identity to something bigger. And so I think somebody's laying a trap for you in 2020. So that should be nice.
So let's look at Trump by quarter.
It's the only time, well, no, in the history of my modern channel that I've only used one deck. But I was trying to be, this is the angel, the influence of the angel. So I'm trying to be nice today.
I'm pulling 3 cards for each quarter. And of course, in first quarter, there he is. I think it looks like, to me, like his first quarter is going to be the roughest.
I got the best cards there, sort of.
The fourth quarter feels like by the time he's gone, that's when he's, I always say he's going to claim insanity as this plea like the mafia guys do. And I'm like, oh, here, temporary insanity when the sword of truth's on him in court.
My first 3, I get the Lovers, the 4 of Pentacle, and the Knight of Pentacle. So there is the people closest to you, closest to you business-wise, because you paid them. They are being shortchanged with the 4 of Pentacles. This is some stinginess, but I don't think it's because you necessarily can't pay them or won't pay them. You might not be able to. There is something either holding up your money or there is someone looking at it and scrutinizing. In the following 3 months, so what is this, April to June, something like that?
Mm-hmm.
I get the Queen of Cups, so there's support in the White House that is beginning to fracture. And I think it splits from you. So if you're gone by the summer, then the White House is not going to back you up anymore because there's somebody else there in charge and they ain't really playing your game. There is the fall months here. We have Queen of Pentacles, that's my card for America. Then Strength is in the middle, and then the 5 of Swords. So there's a defeat here. I don't know if you have a court case or something against you at that point, but you will be defeated. Nancy Pelosi does stab you in the heart come the winter months. So this is not an election because I get the king and the queen. So this is a team of some sort. So this is her in the committee or her in Congress or her in something. That does bring you the 3 of Swords. And the 4 oracles that I got, one is new life, one is defending, one is emptiness, and one is truth. But the one that is truth is something that is already written. So it's kind of like destined to be.
Yeah, and it's like it's already in the proof's already in the pudding. It's already written.
Mm-hmm.
It's already in documents and stuff. I've got the Ace of Swords in fourth quarter too. I feel like on the bottom I've got that Knight of Pentacles. He's the steady one. I feel like it's just a steady drip, 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 drip on him all year long. But I've got treachery for him in first quarter and everything changing. So I was trying to lay some clarifiers, and it looks like they might possibly bully him out, so to speak, like push him out in first quarter, because in second quarter I've got, he's on the retreat and he's in defense mode by second quarter. And having to talk. So I was trying to figure out, like, when's he going? I'm still leaning to first quarter right now.
What's interesting is those last cards I get with the king and queen and then the swords. These dark mirror cards, I don't know what they mean by memory, because they were hard to decipher the meaning, so I wrote them all down. This was the last one I got, the child I was meant to be. This is healing your future by going into your past. So going backwards to go forwards. So you have to go into the past in order to correct the future. So there may be these two entities are bringing all the cases against him. That doesn't necessarily mean he's having an office.
Yeah.
It's just he didn't beat the statute of limitations. So now here we go.
I feel like in third quarter, like there's more money news about other quid pro quo stuff he's done and working on dark money. More we'll hear about in third quarter, but I feel like when I laid clarifiers, I feel like it's first quarter when he's gone.
We do 12 cards, see which one's the worst.
Yeah, one for each month.
Uh-huh.
That's a good question, Noel. What's in store for Congress?
Ian, the children are not going to have any breakthrough until the administration changes.
Yeah, not looking at anything child related.
Unfortunately.
I've read on that, and it's like, I'm just not going there anymore. It's not going to change till the administration changes. One card per month, huh? I got my working across the aisle together card on the bottom, so let's see when they're doing that. When they're all in agreement that he needs to go.
So if I just read it, I get January Democrats come through. They work together. They propose something with the Knight of Wands in February. The March is the death card. So then we have a major change.
I have Knight of Wands in February too.
Yes, there's something that they're ushering in, definitely. Then April, there's the Two of Pentacles. So now we might have the trial around that time, possibly, because following that in May is the King of Swords. So there is either Trump or Pence. There is a victory in June. July, the Ace of Wands, they begin to take a new action. The Three of Pentacles, there is a collaboration of some sorts. And then, what is this? January, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, the House. The House makes a change in September. It changes the fortune in October. November, the Lovers is, so there's an alliance. There is an alliance. And then December, we got the Hermit. So there is some isolation there. Searching for answers. I did say there would be a recount, or he wants one. And then for the Oracle, the overarching theme is Cushiel, that is seeking punishment. We're seeking out for punishment.
No, I get he's like heavily burdened by March. So I'm trying to feel like if he's
by March is death.
Yeah, like if he's gone in first quarter. But it's like more stuff just keeps coming out about the money throughout the year.
Mm-hmm.
Stuff March, April, May, like May, more stuff about dark money coming out from overseas, May, June.
So let's do, I'm going to do this. United States, I'll do them 12 cards too. See what we're looking at. Politically, I have to narrow that down. Politically, United States. What are we looking at? We do have an election in November, so something like that should come up.
Oh, 1 a.m. Happy New Year to Mountain Standard Time.
Is it Arizona?
Yeah. Colorado, Arizona. Didn't ring my bell for Mountain Standard Time.
It's loud.
You know, I had very few questions, and we've somehow managed to read for what 2 hours again. We can't do a short video together.
That's how it goes, too. I told I hope this ain't spoiler alert. Queen's Tarot reached out and wants to do a collaboration. I told her, because her videos are not as long as ours. So I said, well, it's going to be 3 hours, so you better be prepared for that part. It's like I drew too many. I have 12. Yes, because there's 12 months. That's why. Is Lynn Tarot in here? United States political.
I'm getting heartbreak in March.
Good Lord.
Losses in January.
So my very first one is something still about the house. The house has still got something going on in January. February, I get the Hangman. So when that Knight of Pentacles comes rushing through, or Knight of Wands, there is something that will change the perspective or delay something of some sort. There is a Two of Wands that I get in March. I don't know what that is. Let me clarify.
Something from overseas that's heartbreaking, and
it's a king. So there's a man involved here, that same man that keeps popping up probably. Right after that is money news in April. In May, then we have Judgment. So either I don't hear something from the past. I get something judgment.
I've got an ending in May also.
And that maybe what that is, it's a judgment, because I don't get past, because usually that's what that means. I heard judgment as in judgment, because the major arcana can be very literal. I got judgment. And then what is this? June, there is the Ace of Swords. So we find out something probably because of that judgment. So it all hits the media. That Hermit card for political is in July. So more answers. And then right after that is the Sun. So we're learning like heaps of information. So Rachel is not going to go on vacation no time soon. This is January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September. I get the three people, the three muses, and then October I get the bad news, and then the major change for November, which is when the election happens. It is a major change, but December is the devil. So I think then the devil may show its face come December. If I clarify, there is defeat of the devil. And so I still not one of these people who get that he gets reelected. I could be wrong, but the devil meets his defeat come December.
Yeah, I kind of feel like March is like a really big month, like a possibility goes, and then May, because I have the endings, and I'm kind of feeling like, yeah, maybe Trump goes, because I've always said like Trump goes and Pence will go shortly thereafter, like he's caught up in some of the scandals. So I feel like there's two endings, people going. Let's take a look at Nancy Pelosi's year. Right from her side. Sword of Truth and Power for March. And then the rest of the family in the White House in May.
She's got a fight in January for sure.
Yeah.
I keep saying this card. It looks like someone having a victory every time I see it. He looks like he's triumphant at something. And for whatever reason, she turns into the King of Wands. That's in December, though.
Yeah, I've got the King of Wands on the bottom. You know, like she becomes president.
So I get 10 of Wands. She has a burden in January, and then the House in February. And then March, she has the 7 of Swords. So she's either slinking away with something or she has a strategy for something. She has a strategy for judgment, I clarify. Then she has the 9 of Wands, which is more hard work, and then the 7 of Wands, which is standing guard on something. So I think this may be a standing guard of her case or something of some sort like that. And then she gets the 9 of Wands, or the Knight of Wands, in June. And then July, there is security. So something is set in stone by July. Knight of Pentacles. Then the High Priestess, and what is this? January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September. There is secrets that are blown out of the water because there is a defeat come the next month. The Hierophant believe it or not, is in November. So again, with the elections, there is the government. Right after that, there is a victory. I always get this person too when I talk about the election. So there is a new guy coming in. This is not Trump. Trump would have came up if it was Trump. But there's a new guy coming in.
Yeah, I've got because she showed up as King of Wands on the bottom of mine too. I've got the Sword of Truth in March, and she's sitting pretty in April. And it is like I said, like the rest of the family in the White House. I feel like, by August she's the center of attention. So like she's become president. Interesting. I have new beginnings in October, right before the elections, which makes sense because the elections are early in November.
Look at the election.
Yeah, he may retire after all this. Make it through this year. I think she might retire, end of a cycle. Like she makes it through this year and says, "Okay, enough."
Mm-hmm. Because she's in her 70s too. I'm sure she wants to go enjoy the rest of her time.
We'll have to check in on that again in a few weeks because you know how everything shifts. Timelines are so hard to figure out.
Look at the election.
I was just asking in my own head, how's Trump gonna do in the election? I've got he's walking away before. I just asked, I was laying out my month, like when will Trump leave? And I got the 3 muses for March. The wagons circled.
Mm.
It's hard looking by month because sometimes I'm off a month or 2.
Whoever the miserly person is does get stabbed in the heart. Because I get the 4 of Pentacles and then that 3 of Swords. And then the outcome of the election is the Page of Swords and the Knight of Cups. So the false knight and then bad news. And then I did an oracle. Her chance to dream is to give up for a moment. And then I have Such Laugh, which is the card of life. So someone gives up, or I think it may just indicate that it's a unanimous thing, to where his recount is ridiculous.
I mean, look at it this way: like if he goes before the election, the other 2 guys that are running are like so unheard of, that they wouldn't stand a chance against the Democrat. I forget what the 2 guys' names that are running, but
Oh, Joe Walsh and somebody.
Yeah, they're not campaigning a lot, because right now they're putting all their eggs in Trump's basket.
And so many of those states refuse to hold primaries. I was looking for the other knights because I think he is the only one that is not on a horse. So that false knight, that's why it came to me, because everything else is on a horse.
Which knight is that in that deck?
The Knight of Cups.
Isn't on a horse. That's interesting.
I think he is the only one not on a horse. So like the Pied Piper type thing, to where he just leads you off the cliff. He's not a person of action. Now, mind you, it would be okay in any other circumstance because he's about charm and wit and romance. But he's not about action.
Bill Weld's the other candidate. Thank you, Debbie.
I'm looking for the knights. Where are they?
I've never seen a
Oh no, that's the only one that's
deck that has everybody else on horses and one not.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. Lincoln Project. What is the Lincoln Project? I've never heard of that. I don't actually have a TV, so I don't actually watch the news. It's not a headline. I have no idea.
The Lincoln Project are Republicans, like former senators, stuff like that, or just people in the Republican Party who are pushing to make sure Trump is not reelected.
Oh.
So it's it's like all the ones that keep pushing, like they go on the news and they're like, yes, the Senate should impeach, should do the trial fairly and everything else. And
is that being funded by Rebecca Mercer? Because she says she's not supporting Trump. Which is interesting that all the Republicans who are supporting Trump doesn't need her money.
I pulled cards on something and I don't even remember what I pulled them on. So might be time to wrap it up and go to bed.
It's late.
Save some questions for Sunday night. I can't believe we still got 770 hanging with us.
Yeah, that number didn't shift much. Everybody stayed in.
Yeah, George Conway's associated with the Lincoln Project, and I can't remember the other guys' names. Probably because I'm probably going to start talking like Trump in a minute. I'm getting sleepy. Start slurring my words.
It is late.
Well, Happy New Year, everyone. It's officially 2020. We made it another year with Trump.
Yes. Where are the flying cars? They're supposed to have flying cars by now.
Yeah,
they're planes are flying cars. Huh?
Thank you, everyone, for joining us for New Year's. It was fun. Biggest party I've been to in a while.
Oh, yeah, Becca, you still got 45 minutes. Happy New Year to you anyway.
Yeah, Johnie will probably stay up, so.
I'm sleepy now, too.
Yeah, I was going to say, if you want to do a live stream, go to your own channel, because I'm going to turn this one off.
I've been up since 6 this morning, so yeah.
Yeah. Starting to keep more regular hours.
I don't know why I went to sleep last night, but I did.
Thank you so much, everybody. See all your lovely comments.
Mm-hmm.
All right. We'll see you later in the week. It's already in the new year, so.
Mm-hmm. And Sunday we'll be right back here on Jen's channel.
Sunday night might be a shorter read because we kind of read all our questions up. Unless something exciting happens Thursday and Friday. Okay. Good night, everybody.